Welcome back to WordPress for Educators, where educators come to learn WordPress. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to add a contact page. In the previous video, we added a page that we had before that we had already created called About, which is kind of like your cover letter. The contact page is where visitors can actually reach out through a web form and send you an email. So it's pretty straightforward. We have our pages here, CV, About, and Contact. And what we're going to do is click on Contact. You can see here we have a little bit of basic information here. You can write whatever you want to on this page. It's just like a regular page, except we're actually going to add a contact form into the page, into the bulk of the page. And it will go right here underneath this little introductory text. You can have this introductory text or not. Depends on your personality, how you want to put it. Maybe you want to direct people to what types of things that you'll respond to. Might be a good thing. So if you want to work together, please send me an email with the form below. If you're interested in this, I'm not interested, or whatever. So let's come to our page, and we're just going to go down to the next line. And up here, we've talked about adding different types of media into your page. We're not going to talk about adding a poll. I suppose that's something maybe you might want to add into a different type of website. I can't imagine that really being a part of this website. But what we do want to do is add a contact form. So all we have to do is click on this. And then now it gives you this nice little choice of how to build a contact form. So this is what your form is actually going to look like. So it's going to have your name, the person's email, the person's website, and then whatever comments or questions they have. We also have the option to add a new field, which we can choose different types of fields. A radial button would be like this, where you click on the different options. A checkbox obviously is a checkbox. And you could add, this is how we add the email. So that's what this one is. You could do another text area. You could do the website, or text just receives general information. So if you wanted to gather a phone number so that you could contact the person by phone, or if you wanted to put, what's your Twitter handle, or can you give me one social media account that I can connect with you on, that type of thing. You could actually do that using just a plain text field. Or if you had an option, you could do a drop down, and then you would just continue to add different options in your drop down menu here. And then you would just put the name, of different options here. And then when you look, you can see your different options. So that's a choice too. I don't see that really happening in this this particular one that we're doing. So if you want to delete one of these fields, then you just click this minus, and it actually takes it off and deletes it. Let's say you only want name and email. You don't really care about the person's website. You could click to remove it like that. Now if you want to add that website back in, you come up here, and if you choose the website field type, that ensures that they need to have something dot something. And if they don't have that, then it's going to validate the form, and it's going to say, sorry, you can't submit that. You need to make sure that you put a valid website address in there. So let's just do that back. We're not going to require that. If you click this, then it means that it's a required field, and if they don't fill it out, then they can't submit the form. So we're not going to make that a required field. We're going to save the field, and then we have the ability, if we hover over move, it says drag up or down to rearrange, so we can just click and drag it to wherever we want to put it in the form. Let's put it right back where it was. I actually don't want to make any of these required, so I'm going to take the requirement off of each of these. And now that we have our form set the way that we want it, we can click on this tab that says email notifications. It says, do I need to fill this out? No. But if you'd like to modify where your feedback, where your email is sent to, or if you want to modify the subject line right here, then you can. Now this is super helpful. So when you receive an email from your website, you want to know, where did this email come from? How did it come to me? What's it about, right? So you can actually set the subject line to something that helps you understand that this is an email from your personal profile page. Someone's reaching out to you for something. It just kind of helps you when you're looking through your emails not to accidentally send something into the spam or trash. But if you don't make any changes here, then it's going to be sent to the author of the page or the post, and then the subject is going to be the name of this page or post, which is contact. Okay, so that doesn't give a lot of description. So let's change the subject line to contact form submission from my personal site. And then if you want this to be routed to a different email address, then it gives you some different options here. Can I send this to more than one person? Yes. You can enter multiple email addresses in the email address field. You just separate them with commas. So you have whatever at whatever.com, and then comma, and then whatever at whatever.com, right? Just like that, and then it'll be sent to this email address, and it'll also be sent to this email address from the one form submission. In my experience, if you do not fill this out, it will use whichever email address is on file in your settings menu. So you have an administrator email, and it'll just email that back out to that administrator email. So if you wanted to go to a different email address, then you would enter that in here. So let's save that and go back to the form builder. So everything is good. It tells you a few more things in here. By adding the contact form, your readers can submit feedback to you. Can you add more fields? Yes, I showed you how to do that. And then can I view my feedback within WordPress? You actually can, but you don't have to wait for it to come to your email or search through your email. All you have to do is log in, and then you click on the feedback link, which is right here, and I'll show you that in just a moment, how that works. So let's go ahead and add this form to my post. And now all of this stuff here is actually your form. Now it looks strange because it has these little brackets and things with it. This is called a WordPress shortcode, and allows you to add some different kind of plug-in functionality that extends outside or beyond of WordPress. It allows you to add that directly into a page. So don't be thrown off by that. All of the fields that you filled in, they actually are, you can see them right here. So you have field name, type, it's a name type, and then the label is called name and email, and website, and then the type is a URL. So when you chose a website type, field type, then it's the website, and they need to put a URL in there. Comment, the text area, and then this ends the comment or contact form. So it's all here, and the best way for us to see it is to update and to take a look at our contact form. This is what it used to look like, and then when we refresh, now we're going to have our contact form here. And because I'm logged into WordPress, it automatically inserts my information in here. That's just something that happens if your visitor is not logged into WordPress. That's not going to happen. It'll just look like this. So I did not take off the required on the comment. So if I go back and I take off this required part right here, let's see if I can do it by going to the contact form. Yeah, okay, so if I'm on my page here and I want to change this contact form, I just click the add contact form, and it has saved all of my information. I can see, what the subject line should be. That's what I added in. And then I can just go up here. I took off the required. So it's not actually adding a new contact form. It's actually allowing me to edit through this user interface to edit the contact form I just did. So I can click edit and I can uncheck the required and I can save this field and then add this to my post, and now I can see that it's taken off that required part down here. And then when I update, it's going to show me the exact same contact form. Let's see. And now the required is taken off of that. But it still does fill in my information because I'm still logged in. Okay, so now you have a basic contact page. If you wanted to get a little fancy and you wanted to add in feel free to follow me on LinkedIn. And you want it to link to your LinkedIn page. Remember how we did a link before? We highlight the text that we want to link. So maybe we want all of this. Follow me on LinkedIn. And then we click on the Insert Edit Link. And then we would type in linkedin.com/ whatever your LinkedIn account is. You could just copy and paste that into this field. And then, again, this is an outside link, so I prefer to make sure that we open that in a new tab. We click Update, and when we update our page and we refresh it, you can see now that you've actually added a little link to your social media. Now you can get fancy and you can put some of the little social media icons or things like that into the page if you want by using the add media. So you just have to download the social media icons, and then you would click add media, and then from those icons, let's see if we can try that. Let's find an icon. And let's see if we can just grab one of these. It's small enough. Okay, this one. So there's a Twitter icon. So very small. We insert that into the page. And let's say we just want to put it down at the bottom. So we'll move it down to the bottom. And then if you want to use this where someone clicks on this and it goes to a website, then we'll click on Edit. This allows us to edit some different things about the image itself. So we can change how it's aligned, we can change the size, or we can change what it links to. Right now, it does not link to anything. But if we put in a custom URL, then we can add in our link. And it says twitter.com. If you click on Advanced Options, that's where it'll give you the open the link in a new tab. And then you update. And then when we update the page and refresh, we now have our little Twitter link. And when we click it, it'll actually go to twitter.com, which is what we set it to go to. So you would make this whatever your Twitter profile or Facebook profile or whatever social media account you're using. You could actually do that where people can click on this and they can follow you, or they can go check out your tweets or check out your posts on Facebook. You can also use a text link like this. So follow me on LinkedIn. When I click that, I go to linkedin.com. So you have a couple of different options on the contact page. It's normal to have links to your social media as well as how they can contact you through an email address. The contact form will go to the email. These links will go to your social media account. So that is setting up just kind of a basic contact page. If you wanted to put your phone number or your maybe your school phone number, or your desk phone number, or your school address or something like that, where people could contact you through the mail, or they could send you things. Obviously, you can put that on there. If it's a public address, it's probably not quite as bad as putting your personal mailing address on there. But you have a lot of different options for how you want people to contact you. And that would be my encouragement to you is however you want people to contact you, that's what you should put on there. If you don't want people to send you email and you only want them to contact you through social media, then say, I'd love for you to contact me through my social media accounts. It's the quickest way for me to get back to you, and then do that. So that is setting up a contact page. We're almost there. We have an about page, we have a contact page, and then next we're going to learn how to set up our CV or resume. So if you have any questions, you can send me a message, or you can send a tweet to @Brian Hafferkamp, BrianHafferkamp, or you can email me at Brian at